Hey guys, as soon as I saw this beret, I knew I needed to make it. So the things you'll need are 3 sheets of this purple wool felt. Mine is a wool blend. I wanted it to be a wool blend because that's what most berets are typically made out of. So you're going to use this template twice. Once to cut just one big circle, and then another time to cut the big circle and cut out the hole in the middle. And you're going to want this hole in the middle to be the same size as the circumference of your head. Mine was about 22 inches. You want to make sure you have a little bit of seam allowance. The other piece you're going to need is a strip of felt that is 1.5 inches wide, and that already includes the seam allowance. But that strip of felt is going to need to be the same circumference as your head. You're going to keep one circle like this, and then you're going to get another piece of felt. This time you're going to trace the inside and the outside, and you're going to end up cutting out both sections. You need 2 strips if you're using sheets like I am. We are almost ready to sew this together, but before we do that, we want to cut a little strip. And when we're sewing, we're going to end up sewing this together so it makes the little thing that sticks out of the hat. So let's get sewing. So I've got my 2 pieces together. I'm just going to sew around the edge, leaving a little bit of a seam. So next, we're going to take these bands and just sew one of the edges together. Before we pin on the band and sew it, we actually need to put little snips in this. Pinch it together like that, and then just sew along it so that it makes a little fold in the fabric there. The best way to make sure you have the right amount of little folds is to just keep trying it on and seeing how it fits. Pin all the way around the edge of the hat and the brim so that when you turn it right side out, there is no seam there. I did that all the way around until I got to the edges where I had a little bit of extra, so I just went ahead and trimmed that off and pinned these pieces together. So we're just going to sew across that. So now we have to do the little thing that goes on the top of it. I'm not sure what it's called. You're going to pin through like this. It's just folded as tight as you can fold it and pin it in place. And if you have the thread that is the exact same color, you don't have to be neat about this, but you're just going to hand stitch through that. And then you're going to do the same and attach it to roughly the center of the hat. We have one more step before we're all done, because this wouldn't be a Mania hat without the word Mania on it. For the final step, I've put some purple thread in my machine, and we are going to put the monogram of Mania across the band. My machine will do this for me. I have programmed it to write the word Mania. If you don't have a machine that does this, or you're doing this by hand, it's pretty easy to just embroider it yourself with some embroidery floss. Or if you want it to be really small and neat like mine is going to be, you can use a thread. This machine tends to leave behind a lot of extra thread, so I'm just taking my little seam ripper and cutting some of the thread between the letters. This just makes it look nice and finished. Ta-da! Mania on the brim. It's really small. My machine only embroiders in one size, so I'm limited in what size, but I also wanted it to just be kind of small, kind of casual, and I hope you're ready for the montage, because we're done. I hope you guys found this video to be informative on how to make a beret, whether or not it is Mania themed. I wanted to do a Mania one, just like the girl in their merch video, because I am so excited for their album coming out today. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite song is, or if you have a crafty idea for me to try, leave that down in the comments. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys next Friday. Bye! Just for the bloopers, just know that my machine did that. This is sort of the way you would sew a buttonhole almost, but if the buttonhole were a stem going on a beret. So that didn't really make sense. For the final step, I have put a put it